I'd like to call the regular scheduled meeting of the President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will County, being held on Tuesday, December 5th, 2023, beginning at 6:32 p.m. Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Here.
Trustee Brennan?
Present.
Trustee Mahoney?
Present.
Trustee Mueller?
Here.
Trustee Shaw?
Present.
Trustee Sullivan?
Here.
President Klaus?
Present, thank you. Item number 1, I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Bill Brennan, Billy, and then Dennis. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Roll call for item 1. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 2. I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting held on November 21st, 2023.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Roll call for item 2. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries, everyone. Next, we have item number 3. Trustee Bill Brennan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to ask the village clerk to conduct a swearing-in ceremony for firefighters Kyle Sellers, Daniel Vimbakis, Michael Scasia, Alexander Lesiak, Matthew Sharkey. I probably butchered those names, but. Vimbakis.
Bring them all up here.
Tim, you want to give the shields? How you doing? All right. Sellers first.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kyle Sellers,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of firefighter according to the best of my ability,
of firefighter according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Come over with a picture.
Sure, I can take.
It's not video, you guys.
Get one more? I know, wait, hold on. Like paparazzi. Got it, thank you very much.
Hey, Bill.
Might lose it.
Go out to the corridor.
Got it, thank you. Chuck.
Okay, next. Daniel.
I state your name.
I, Daniel Van Bacchus,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of firefighter according to the best of my ability,
of firefighter to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Name up.
Got it. Thank you very
All
much.
right, we'll stand for Yeah, don't lose your name. You're getting shorter, man.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
I state your name.
I, Michael Scation,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of firefighter according to the best of my ability,
the duties of firefighter according to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Bring 'em up.
Sure thing. Thank you. Where? Hold on one second. Got it. Thank you very much.
Pepper.
But only on this side.
Thank you.
I state your name.
I, Alex Easier,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of firefighter
the duties of firefighter
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, sure. He was asking for sure.
I
Got it. Got it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, one more group picture of the firefighters. Guys, come on up. We know you love pictures. Come on up.
That was pretty cool.
I stand next to him, please?
I get some chairs in front?
Thank you.
See ya.
My phone let me silence. Huh? My phone let me silence. Yep.
I know, come on.
What's that?
No way.
Smarter than
Well,
Go to your side.
see, I know how to push the little button down. When I push the button down, it doesn't. So I'm just having a lot of people.
Next for item 4, I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider the following commission appointments for fiscal year 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Next one.
The Advisory Commission on Labor and Development, our co-chair, due to workload, had to step down from his seat. So it's to name Frank DiGiovanni to co-chair and Demetrius DeChari as commissioner. Is there any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Roll call for item 4. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 5. I'd like to ask for the board for a motion to consider appointing Jamie Davila to the position of Help Desk Coordinator.
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
Thank you. Jamie has 5 years of related experience in information technology and is skilled in providing complete infrastructure service to protect data, including storage, backup, and disaster recovery, as well as experience working in various office environments, managing the daily operations. Has previously worked for the village's Information Technology Department, supporting the IT help desk as a contracted employee, where he demonstrated excellent customer service skills, aptitude for technology, and was very detail-oriented. Jamie is a highly recommended for appointment to the Help Desk Coordinator. Please consider appointing Jamie to the position of Help Desk Coordinator effective December 20th. Is there any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for Jamie?
Roll call for item 5. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 6. May I have a motion to consider approval of the consent agenda items?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Consent agenda items have been publicly posted and available for review. On the agenda for this meeting, would anyone from the board like any of these items removed from the consent agenda tonight? Let the record reflect. There is no, and I heard Bill audibly say no. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Roll call for item 6, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 7, trustee Dennis Mahoney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I get a motion to please consider adopting ordinance 2023-0-079, approving a purchase and sale agreement between the Village of Tinley Park and Kelly Marmo and Michael Beckstein for the purchase of property located at 17366 through 17368 68th Court in Tinley Park, Illinois.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thanks. This ordinance approves the purchase of property located at 17336 through 17368 68th Court in the amount of $345,000. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole, held prior to this meeting. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the board?
I'll just say, this has been a long time coming. I'm excited Village will finally have control over these properties.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ditto.
No. And just for the record, for anyone that didn't watch the cow, I don't remember exactly all the detail you went into, but basically, Beckstein was looking to sell the property, and they came to the village, I think you said in 2021?
Yeah, and there was even discussions prior to that, but I think we started talking again in 2021.
Okay, and then, and their options were they were going to give the village first rights to buy the property, or they would sell it to a developer to build apartments,
Correct.
correct? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else from the board? Anyone from the public here to comment? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for item number 7?
Roll call for item 7, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 8, trustee Dennis Mahoney.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to please consider adopting Resolution 2023-R-151, authorizing a contract with the Lakota Group for comprehensive planning professional services in the amount of $250,026.
So moved?
I'll second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the execution of a contract with the Lakota Group to complete a comprehensive plan for the village over an 18 to 24-month period. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole meeting held prior to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Dennis. Is there any questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Item number 8. Let the record reflect there are none. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Roll call for item 8, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. Next, we have item number 9. Trustee Mahoney.
Thank you. Can I please get a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2023-0-055, approving the implementation of real estate transfer stamp requirement?
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thank you. The proposed resolution will authorize the establishment of a real estate transfer stamp within the Village of Tinley Park to regulate all property transfers at no cost to sellers. This ordinance will be in full force and effect on January 1st of 2025, or soon after, based upon the implementation of Community Development Enterprise Resource Planning software. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole on September 19th of 2023, in the Village Board on October 3rd of 2023. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Any comments from the public on item 9?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
No, I'm sorry. Are there any comments from the public from item 9? Let the record reflect there are none. Is there any questions from the board or comments?
I sure do. I just wanted to emphasize a couple of points here. We did discuss this quite a bit at length last time around, and I appreciate that it was reworked a little bit and brought back. For anyone who hasn't read the details in the packet, I just wanted to emphasize here, the brief description here states that at no cost to the seller, but that's no cost to the purchaser either. So, just wanted to make sure that that was clear. So I think that this is a good thing. There's a lot of benefits to enacting this.
Thanks, Ken. Anyone else from the board have any comments?
I did, but Ken covered it, making sure that it says no cost to the sellers as well as the buyers. So he clarified that.
Yeah, I just want to say, I'm glad, we had discussions on this back in September. I know we were kind of split on that, but I think the majority of us didn't want to pass on another fee to property owners for something like this, so I'm glad we got to this. I think, purchasing this and implementing the software, I hope that eliminates or alleviates some of the manpower that goes into this. And I think also, back in September, we were talking too, that this is something that really, a buyer or seller really have a good real estate agent and attorney, so you don't fall into these problems. But I'm glad that we reached a decision to have this no cost to the buyers and the sellers. So glad we worked together on that one.
Thanks, Colleen.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the board?
I'll just echo what everyone else has said. I think this is a necessary step we need to have in our process, but likewise, I'm with Colleen. I'm just glad it's at no cost. So.
Yep, I'm glad, sorry, was that it, Bill?
Yep, that's it.
Glad this is finally to the board. And again, there are a couple that are stating otherwise online that we're charging people to sell or to purchase, which is not the case. All this transfer stamp does is protect the village. Dan, could you just give a brief description on why you guys wanted the transfer stamp, on what happens without it?
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits that in touching a lot of different departments. On one end, the kind of one of the most noticeable, and the reason why I think the no fee kind of makes sense here is that it's going to make sure, as people sell properties, we make sure bills are paid, water bills are paid, any money due to the village is paid, violations are resolved. And that really benefits the new buyer, our new resident, new property owner coming in can feel confident there's no money owed on the property, there's no violations, or if there is anything, they know about it at that point. A couple other things that have come up through this process is that they'll actually help Public Works a little bit. There's a requirement for inspections of sewer systems on properties to make sure there's no cross connections. This gives us an ability to make sure that is happening, as well as it even gives us a chance to be able to track and make sure our like crime-free affordable housing is being kept up with if someone's renting a property. So this gives us a lot of benefits to be able to track a lot of those different things. There's even more, but I won't get into everything. There's financial benefits, and just a lot of the departments will benefit from this.
Thank you. So it basically started from people selling their home and having debt left on the house, that then you're stuck a new homeowner and they're saying it's not my water bill or this or that or fines, and then now you're battling with a new homeowner that just moved into the village, which will eliminate this.
Yep, and there was money owed to the village over time where we could go track down the old seller, and that usually didn't happen, and the village is just kind of left paying for that, or if all the other residents are paying for it, right? This will make sure before someone sells a property, they have to come to us and make sure they're made whole. So the large majority of these will be done in very quick, in under 5 days, and only those properties that have issues will take anything more than 5 days to be able to.
Thanks, Dan.
And can I ask a question about the software too? So the transfer stamp, this is just a piece of that software. There's other things there's different implementations that are, so this is for the transfer stamp. And if I remember right, there was some other, because we had to approve that individual upgrade to the software back in September. So what else does the planning software do besides
the planning software is going to touch everything from like building permits, business licenses, planning and zoning stuff, code enforcement. It's going to do all of that. Mm-hmm. This was just one process
Okay.
that we needed to know, were we changing this or not? So
Okay.
that way we could build the software.
Okay, and
to
we
make
did
sure
already
we-
approve that piece of it, so it's gonna get implemented now in January.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just need to know, are we building a transfer stamp process, or our old way of doing this was very convoluted and kind of happened after a sale already happened.
Right.
That would have been much more difficult to do, so this just helps us build that out.
Great, hope it works out, makes things easier. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Roll call for item 9, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 10 for pause. Trustee Mahoney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I get a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2023-0-078, granting a special use for a planned unit development, substantial deviation to People Animal Welfare Society, also known as PAWS, of Tinley Park at 8301 191st Street.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. The petitioner is seeking to install an electronic message center sign exceeding the maximum allowable size in the R-5 PD zoning district. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on November 16th of 2023 and voted 7-0 to recommend approval of the special use with the recommended conditions, plans, and findings of fact as noted in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Only thing I would like to add is, glad we're able to help pause, and anyone that's been following the news or social media, the Hirsch family has been all over the news supporting pause, trying to help them raise money. They're constantly getting dogs, cats, other animals dropped at their front door. They're at 7805 Nottingham. Anyone wants to stop and see their Christmas lights, they got this big, beautiful box, donation box that they made. So if anyone could stop by and help them, that'd be great. Any questions from the board?
I'll just tack on to that. There was a very cute little 4-month-old puppy at the Hirsch's house the other day, and I saw it got adopted over the weekend.
Oh.
That's
Stretch?
good news.
Awesome, she was adorable.
Yeah, the little 4-month-old
It was an
pit
American
puppy.
Stafford,
Yep,
yeah.
very
really
cute. Nala.
Really cute
Anyone?
dog.
Anyone
Always
from-
good news.
Anyone from the public here to comment on item 10? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 10, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 11. Trustee Brady, you're up.
Thank you. I'd like to have the board consider adopting Resolution 2023-R-152, authorizing a Geographic Information System, GIS, consortium contract between the Village of Tinley Park and the Municipal GIS Partners Incorporated.
I'll second that motion. I'll move it.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
The renewal agreement and statement of work with the GIS Consortium service provide municipal GIS partners, MGP, is to provide geographic information systems services to the village. The cost for this calendar year of 2024 period will be $230,044.32. This renewal term shall commence on January 1, 2024, and remain in effect until December 31st, 2024. In addition, monthly usage reports are provided to the village board to confirm utilization of the GIS data by staff and the public. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole prior to this meeting. The resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Trustee Brady. Is there any questions from the board on item number 11? Any comments from the public on item number 11? Let the record reflect there are none. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Roll call for item 11, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
The motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 12, receive comments from staff. Anyone from staff care to comment on the left? Next, we have item number 13, receive comments from the board. Would anyone from the board care to comment?
I would, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Our generation had 9/11. On Thursday, December 7th, promised not to forget the attack at Pearl Harbor, which was 82 years ago. So take time and think about the 3,000 people, men and women, that died on that day at Pearl Harbor, and of course, the hundreds of thousands that died throughout the 4 years of the war. So we shall never forget Pearl Harbor as well.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else on the board care to comment?
I will just like to add something. Did I cut you off?
Go ahead.
I just want to say, this weekend was wonderful. I think marketing department, public works, everyone did a great job with the holiday market, was fun. I did miss the parade, but I had a great time with my grandson on Saturday with the carriage rides, the market, the vendors were great. Everyone seemed to be in good spirits. The music was great. There was some Irish kind of band. I really love them. And Five Guys, they were great too. So once again, great job. The plaza looks beautiful. I drive past it coming here tonight, and I love the music playing and everything. It's just very festive and fun, and great job to everyone involved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Shaw?
So I'd just like to echo a little bit of what Colleen just said about the holiday market and the parade. The parade was fantastic. For first time in recent memory, seemed to me like all of the participants rationed their candy pretty well, and it didn't dry up at the end of the parade. Either that or everyone just brought more. So that was a definite plus. I thought it was really wonderful, the musical acts in particular. Some of the middle school and high school musical acts that performed did a fantastic job. I'd also like to bring up the passing of a very long-time Tinley Park resident, over one of my neighbors over in the Parkside neighborhood, Bernadette Bosco. She passed away this past week. Her late husband, Sterling Bosco, was a state trooper. I spoke to former Mayor Ed Zabrocki. He knew them well. And Bernadette, she's a wonderful woman, wonderful neighbor. She raised 7 kids in a little 980 square foot Cape Cod over in Parkside. She and her husband Sterling were not original owners, but they were just about as close to an original owner as you could get. We don't have a lot of our original Parkside folks over there, but we do have quite a bit. And we lose a lot of really great residents quite often. Bernadette was a really great neighbor. 7 kids, 17 grandkids, 10 great-grandkids, and countless nieces and nephews. For anyone who has gone up and down Pine Point, you might remember the huge angel statue, the big white angel statue in the yard. It's not actually a statue, it's the trunk of a tree. People were asking what's going to happen to the statue, and so we don't know. She was also a lifelong parishioner and volunteer at St. George. I distinctly remember one of the first times we went over there. She welcomed us to the parish. And she was also surprisingly very active, pretty close to the end. I forget what you call those bikes that you sit down on and you pedal. But she had one of those. She had her dog in tow. You would just see her all the time in the summers. And she was also a huge gardener and was very generous. I would say quite a few of the shrubs and perennials in my yard were actually cultivated from hers. So really great woman, and sad to see her go, and wanted to make sure gave some recognition. So.
Thank you, Ken. I'd just like to add, there was a comment stated earlier at the cow, and negative, putting deputy clerk and FOIA in negative light. Just like to add, You couldn't ask for a more honest, transparent, responsible person than Laura Gadet as our deputy clerk. So Laura, thank you for everything you do. I'd also like to, again, comment on the levy, the Village of Tinley Park. Thank you. The Village of Tinley Park and the library are the only taxing body that is not increasing the levy at all. The Park District and several of the other taxing bodies on your bill are doing 4.99%. I believe Trustee Mueller said Summit Hill in Brookside Glen is doing 7.24%. So thank you very much to staff for all your hard work on that in the Finance Department. And last but not least, for kind of echo the, what you guys said about the, this weekend with the parade and the tree lighting and everything. I can't thank our staff, our volunteers, and our first responders enough for everything they do so that we get to enjoy these great weekend events during the holidays and throughout the year. So thank you to everyone involved that helped plan this and keep us safe. So thank you. Next, we have item number 14, to receive comments from the public. I'd like to invite our sergeant up here to talk about. Sorry that our communication, we didn't get a chance to put it on the agenda. Sorry for you having to wait for public comment. Floor is all yours.
No worries, Mayor. Excuse me. My name's Chris Butler. I'm a sergeant with the police department. I'm also the president of a local charity, being Tinley Wish. And I know most of the people in here probably are familiar with it, but just in case somebody's not. Mayor, I apologize for this usually I like to get in here in November. It's a little late this year, so I apologize for that. But on behalf of the board, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you for the few minutes we have here so we can go over and talk about Tinley Wish. First, I'd like to thank the mayor, all the trustees, Chief Tilton, the village managers, Carr and Lipman, Chief Klotz, and even John Urbanski for, and everyone else. Donna, and I mean, there's a lot of people that, help out here, and especially the public. We have such good support from our residents to make this happen. So without everybody working together, this would never happen. So this is our 28th year. Started in '95 with Dennis Mahoney and Rich Kozik. Thank you. A couple of our policemen started this, and Rich, rest his soul. He was from us. He went to be a state trooper, and then he passed away from cancer. But they started this great idea, and it's gone on since. So every year, throughout the year, we raise money to help people around the Christmas holiday season. Our only requirements are we can't give you cash, and you have to live in town. Pretty much everything else is on the table. So over the years, we've helped, I don't know how many families, a lot, hundreds of families. Good residents, good people, good friends, good families in terrible times. So it could be, a catastrophic illness, it could be a death, it could be their house burned. Name a catastrophe for a family, we've probably seen it. We've done everything from pay bills to buy cars, food. We've organized some trips to Disney for, kids that are terminally ill. And this year, we have 4 families that we're able to help. There were quite a few nominations. We go through them all, see who we can help with the money we have available, and this year we have 4. 3 of them will be deliveries. For those who don't know, we go to the families. Families are nominated to us, and then we collect those nominations. The board reviews them, sees who we can help, and then we'll call those families that were nominated and ask if they are interested in receiving the help. So this year, we contacted 4 families. They all said yes. And then they have the option of having either we call it a silent delivery, where we go privately, no one needs to know any of their business or what's going on with them, and we just help them. Because this is all about them, it's not about anybody else. And this year, 1 family has elected to have a private delivery. I can tell you, it's a lady, she had cancer, another medical issue, thought it was in remission, and now I think she's back probably stage 4, and she's mid-40s. She's a younger lady. So we're going to help that family. And then we have 3 other families. They're all cancer-related as well, but they all want a delivery. So we'll have 3 deliveries this year, you know, with all the bells and whistles, fire trucks, police cars, and the whole shot. So at this time, you know, normally we're here a little bit earlier, but we have gift wrapping, which when we get the wish list from the families, we send people out from the board and have them go shop for these families, whatever they want. If they're bills, we'll pay bills. If they want presents for the kids, we'll do that. So now everything that they've purchased, December 6th, Saturday, 9 a.m. at the police department, we'll do the wrapping. So everyone's invited to that. Everyone here, any of the public, any groups, and we get lots of groups of, you know, sports teams, Girl Scouts, you name it. But we'd like to invite everybody to attend that. It's at 9 a.m. on Saturday the 6th at the police department. And then,
The 9th.
the 9th, sorry,
It's okay.
Saturday the 9th. The 16th, Saturday the 16th is delivery. Again, 9 a.m. at the police department. Anyone's welcome to attend, and we'll go to those 3 houses. And then afterwards, we usually have a luncheon back at the police department. So I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. If I missed somebody, I apologize, but we really appreciate all the help and support throughout the year. It's a really good thing, and you know, hoping I come back after retirement one day and see it going, you know, 20 years from now, still keeping on. But appreciate the time, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Sergeant.
help and service.
And I'd just like to add to, also to what he said is, got to thank Gatos too. Every year, they're gracious enough to support Chris and his whole team and all the volunteers that supply food every year. So it's very generous and nice of them. And then if you could just get with Donna so she could do what her and her team does best, and they could start blitzing this out there, that would be much appreciated, so we could all help.
Yeah, Donna and Jason and, you know, just, they've all been great, so. And I knew I was forgetting something, Mayor, you know, but I appreciate it. Please, if anyone has time, come on out on Saturday, and then next week gonna be delivery.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Who's dressing as Santa?
Public Works employee. Somebody dresses as Santa?
It's the real Santa.
Yeah, John walks around and dresses as
house.
Santa.
Can't get the real Santa.
What is he doing?
Would anyone else like to make a public comment for item number 14? Let the record reflect there are none. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll? I'm sorry. No. Oh, I was thinking, forget it. Item number 15, can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the following? The appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:15 PM. Thank you very much.